Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my special report on the September 2025 eclipses. I'm calling the theme of this time, Shadows from the Past, Fast Forward into the Future. And I'll go into lots of details about that. This is for all signs. But if you do want to drill down to see what may happen for the eclipse manifestation specific to your sign, I do go into those details in my August and September reports. Okay, so let's get down into it. Eclipses come in cycles, and they always bring these shadows from the past. Unresolved karma, patterns, they light up the same parts of our chart that they did when they occurred in the past. And this particular eclipse cycle is a Pisces-Virgo eclipse cycle. So September 7th, we have a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces. Then on September 21st, we have a black moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Virgo. This eclipse cycle started at the end of 2024, like the latter several months of 2024, and will extend into the first half of 2027. So every 6 months within that time, there are storylines coming up, chapters in an experience that bubble up from the unconscious space to be worked with again. And then they fade down into a new level of normalcy, and then they pop up again. So September is the heat of eclipse season. Eclipse season can really stretch 4 to 6, sometimes more weeks before and after each eclipse. So you may have started getting the news from these eclipses even at the end of July. They may echo, well into October, maybe even beyond. But September is the hot spot for this. Now, if we want to talk about the shadows of the past, let's go back to the beginning of 2015 through the first half of 2017. The same themes that occurred at that time from the eclipse perspective may likely come back again. And if you want to go further than that, the beginning of 2006 through the first half of 2008, that was the time before when this eclipse cycle occurred. Now, many things may have happened in those time frames that have nothing to do with the eclipses, and they will not be the things cycling back. If something terrible happened in those times, that doesn't mean that something terrible will happen now. It's just the areas of experience that are highlighted by the eclipses tend to come back through for undealt with things, missed lessons, or to expand upon how you've already evolved. Pisces and Virgo is very much about discipline, systems, organization, the material, tangible reality, versus the abstract, the unseen, the psychological, the spiritual, the deeply hidden. We have overt versus covert. We have material versus spiritual. We have logical versus intuitive. And the cycle at play is the dance between these polarities, and you will see these types of energies come up to be worked with. Now, in general, eclipse time tends to bring a fast forward into the future. Okay, so it brings these shadows of the past, these echoes of the past, these patterns from the past. And they also can push you through a portal into a point into the future that you thought would be further along. That's for better or worse. Life-changing, or non-negotiable changes often occur at eclipses. So something happens and you're presented with a situation and you have to deal with it. Now, fortunately for us, this September, we are free and clear from personal planet retrogrades and their shadow periods, which will make it easier to start to make decisions from the information that's coming in from these eclipses and to take action on them. But also remember that the news is in a process of being delivered and you may not have all of the information yet. All right, so at eclipse time, trajectory shifts that fast forwards you into the future. A portal opens to lift you into a world, an up-leveling of massive proportion, or something very different. There are massive goodbyes and brilliant new hellos. Space is cleared and space is filled. So space wants to fill, and as soon as we clear something out, there's room for something else. But sometimes the new thing comes in before the old thing shifts, or sometimes there's a lag time between the shifting out of the old and the bringing in of the new. And there could be that uncomfortable feeling in between of that emptiness. So that it's very, very, very intense at eclipse time. Sometimes sleeping is harder. Sometimes it feels like you have your finger stuck in an electric socket for an extended period of time. One of the big things that I've discovered through my studies and observing eclipses over decades is that glass tends to break at eclipse time. If glass breaks and you and everyone else are not hurt, then celebrate, because the eclipses change the magnetic fields around us. I actually go deep into the details of the physics of eclipses. It's a very cool discussion in my August reports for each sign. But I'm not going to go deep into that now, but just to say that there is a magnetic field shift as the gravitational fields of the sun, the moon, the earth combine. It changes the time-space continuum. Einstein hypothesized, and it has been proven since, that time and space bend around objects of mass. And the bigger the mass, the more time and space bends around. We know this because we have a time field around the earth that changes when we leave the earth's field, right? That's why time is different in space, and time is different near different planets, because time spends around, or time bends around the objects of mass. So when you have the alignment, the earth, the moon, the sun, their gravitational fields aligning, it actually creates time warps, or bends in time, where echoes from the past come in and then fast forward into the future. I mean, it is actually a literal thing that aligns with the laws of physics. So you will see this come up. But what also happens is the change in the magnetic fields. We have, electromagnetic fields around us. And this is a provable thing. Our heart conducts electricity, and we are connected to the Earth's field, which is magnetic, and we have a field around us. So our energetic fields are actually affected by the alignments of the stars. And the eclipses are very, very, very potent examples of this. And it's very easy to see at this time. So there's chaos, there's mischief, there's static that develops in our fields. And if a glass breaks, sometimes it clears that and can protect us. So, maybe go to a Greek wedding and start throwing some glass around, and work this stuff out. But it's definitely something notable I've seen. Also notable about eclipses is often things happen in threes. There is some sort of phenomenon about this that I have seen. Something goes on, something similar happens, and then the third. Maybe you break 3 glasses, so unless it's something priceless or unless anyone gets hurt, if you can bless it and be happy, you may actually even feel the energy clear around you. Be like, wow, kind of a relief. So that's something interesting that I noticed at eclipses. Eclipses can definitely be awesome for active conscious manifesting when we align our desires, with these power periods when we know that we can fast forward things and where we can clear up karma. Trying to see things through other people's perspectives is a great practice for clearing karma, because sometimes we have things come to us because we believe strongly about something, and that opinion creates a point of tension that actually can create karmic experiences. So we may see at eclipse time a dissolving, a softening, an additional viewpoint of where we can see something that we couldn't see before. And sometimes that can instantaneously heal karmic, bonds, or negative karmic bonds, and can enhance positive karmic bonds. So all of these things are things that I've come to see at eclipse time. Very, very potent. Virgo and Pisces rule mental and physical health, emotional health. So there may be major breakthroughs in those arenas for you. There may be swapping around of focus of the logical for the intuitive, or the intuitive for the logical, or vice versa, however that goes. Pets and animals and working with animals, service to others, daily work, our daily experience may get a big shakeup at eclipse time, especially with a Virgo eclipse. Pisces is our hidden, quiet, artistic experience, our deep connection to spirit. And synchronicity is especially alive during alignments like this, especially when we have something to do with Pisces. Pisces is the ultimate synchronicity resonance. It's the all that is. It's the connection to the divine. It's the connection to the past, the future, all the possibilities. And you may notice that synchronicity is especially strong at this time, where you have a question and it's instantly answered. You have a problem and a solution comes in. So being awake to these things can actually help you recognize them when they come in. Synchronicity is the language of spirit, and spirit speaking especially loudly at this time. Something else it's great to do at eclipse time, but especially here with this Pisces eclipse energy, since Pisces rules sleep and our lucid dreaming and our, the language and symbology of dreams, working with dreams and intuition, keeping a dream journal, talking to people in your family, like as soon as you wake up, about what you dreamt about to bring it to life and analyze it a bit, ask for messages, ask your subconscious mind to bring you healing and solutions when you go to sleep. That tween time, the 5 or 10 minutes before you fall asleep and the few minutes, after you wake up, we're in a brainwave state that is naturally conducive to connecting with the subconscious mind. It's a tween time that's a connector of worlds internally and externally. So, using this consciously is another way that you can really make the most of this eclipse energy. Also stay open to this rapid acceleration. If there is something that you've been wanting to manifest, eclipses can sometimes bring it like that in an instant. So if you have to do something to dig your troughs in expectation of rain, pack up your house, or start clearing stuff out in anticipation of a move if you want to move, make vision boards for the life that you want to have. All of these things are amazing to do at eclipse time. Some other ways to use the eclipse energy is to review soul contracts. Probably you've got quite a few people in your life where you know that there's something very powerful, a bond between you. And reviewing these contracts may help you to find the gold and to get the lesson. And if it's been a challenge situation, either create peace and improve the relationship, or if it's necessary to move on, having the clarity and the means to do that. Sometimes people leave our lives at this time. Sometimes people's relationships change. So you go to a different level in a relationship. So the old relationship is what leaves, but the person stays and you move to the next level. So there are things that are in a process of dying and being born. I have seen many times at eclipses, a grandparent passes away and a grandchild is born. There's a lot of this shuffling around of that type of energy, but sometimes the death is not literal. It's just figurative, where something is coming to an end, some cycle. Something else you can do is use stillness as a practice. So while this is a time to charge ahead, to make decisions, there is wisdom in the stillness at this time, because as I said, spirit will be speaking loudly. And if you're not sure, don't act just for the sake of it. If you're sure about it, you have the momentum, you have the clarity, then you have the stars, openness to move forward. But if you're not sure, keeping the stillness is fine, and waiting for more information and asking the universe for more information as well. It's definitely really helpful to track houses that are activated. And as I mentioned before, I do this for you in my August and September reports. You can also actually go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter there. Just put your name and email address in. And in the welcome letter you get through email, there's my eclipse resource page. And I have special videos for each placement of the eclipse. And I have a guide to help you see where those eclipses will be. So those are ways that you can track the houses that are activated, because this video is speaking to the general Pisces Virgo storylines, not the specific houses. But it's very, very, very important to go deep into that as well. Eclipses definitely can help you or make you feel like you're being redirected. As I said before, like a trajectory shifts. So there may be a dream that you've had that dissolves, but it's very likely that that dream may be replaced with a new one, possibly even better, or if at bare minimum equal. Something more in alignment with who you've become. Sometimes old dreams are things we continue to try to manifest, and this is a good point to check in to see if you're even still in alignment with the old dreams that you had and what your reasons are. Because of the connection to the physical body and the mental and emotional wellness with the Virgo Pisces polarity, paying attention to your body, noticing physical symptoms, and staying extra hydrated, staying extra grounded, walking barefoot on the earth or having your feet just in the dirt outside. This isn't something that's, just metaphysical. This is something that aligns with spiritual practices that come from the understanding that our bodies are electromagnetic fields. Okay, so when your field is getting frazzled, you can feel it. When you ground into the earth vibration, it is a very grounding, a very healing, resonance. And you can do things like that to help you stay grounded. But definitely if you have symptoms, this could be a very important time to check them out, because they could escalate. And it's possible if you check them out before they're yelling, that maybe you can head off some potential issues. Also, looking out for sudden realizations is a good thing to do at eclipse time, because it very likely will come. These flashes of insight, guidance. You may also want to write them down because they may be fleeting. When we're talking about Pisces, the lesser seen realms, tuning into things that may seem less logical, like vibration, or, because vibration is the essence of life, and everything is in movement, even if it seems like it's stationary, or everything is in motion. So using healing sounds and frequencies, music, to clear dense energy and to attune to eclipse frequencies. There are a lot of resources on YouTube that you can find for vibrational healing and sound healing and frequency healing. And, just look for people who are well rated and have people happy, just find trustworthy sources. Definitely creating space may be something the eclipses do, whether without your permission or intention, but cleaning out closets, reorganizing space, getting ready for new beginnings, is a way to help, like I said before, dig the troughs to prepare for an abundance of the, life-giving rain. Quantum leaps are so common, and we have to remember that progress doesn't always follow a straight line, because time is not really linear. Linear construction of time is a construction of our minds and our need to try to place something in an order that makes sense. But life and time is actually not linear. And you can have more evidence of that during eclipse time. Okay, so a few things to watch out for around this time is overreactivity. Your tensions may be high, other people's tensions may be high. There are activations occurring. People are clinging to the old. There's resistance. The new is coming. Even if it's something you wanted, it could be stressful. You could have energetic overload. Too much socializing, too much screen time, too much stimulation can definitely fry your circuits when you take into consideration they're probably being extra fried from the alignments as well. So just quiet retreats, clearing resistance to what's falling away at the same time as properly grieving, what may be falling away. And as I said, it could be an old routine, that you really loved. It could be something, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but, has value to you. Things are getting swapped around. Because the sudden surprises may come in and we have to expect the unexpected, and eclipses are famous for plot twists, and they're not always bad, but they can definitely be destabilizing. Trying to keep flexibility in your schedule, to not be overscheduled, can assist you if something comes up or there's emotional things that have to be worked through for yourself or people around you. Eclipses will definitely trigger shadow work and, making appointments with professionals who help you work through psychotherapists, MD or EMDR, EFT, NLP. These are all modalities you can look up. Inner work, meditation, all are things that you can do to help process through and make this as productive and smooth as possible. Be wary of overcommitting at this time, even though the stars are saying move forward because the personal planets are direct. The intensity of the eclipses, especially in the days close to the 7th and the 21st, but really anything can happen at any time with these, just things may feel urgent, so you might decide to overcommit, but you might have to wait a few days just to see if it still feels aligned or if new information comes in. Things are going to be tested, relationships will be tested, dreams will be intense. This feeling like you're in between worlds is going to escalate. There is some physics behind this as well. So, in short, this is a cosmic reset we have these opportunities every 6 months, and in the time leading up to those 6-month intervals, it's bringing a lot of things out. It's elucidating things. It's bringing things from the subconscious, unconscious experience out to the conscious experience. So we are in this building process, and this waning. There's a waxing and a waning. So September 7th, we've got the lunar eclipse, everything coming to fullness. Then we have this waning down to the solar eclipse on the 21st of September, and that black moon, that extra special second Virgo new moon, which is exceptionally good for seed planting. So these are some things on my mind for the eclipses. Definitely go on my YouTube channel, on Spotify, my Buzzsprout, Astro Kisses with Annie Botticelli podcast to listen to the August and September reports. Go to anniehelpsyou.com to get the eclipse resource page when you sign up for the free VIP newsletter. And if you want to learn astrology, I do have a Black Moon promo that will be present until the Black Moon itself on September 21st. So you can claim over $1,100 in free promos when you register for my Astrology Mastery Certification course. While this promo is going, you'll get my Unleash Your Money Magnet for free, my Celestial Mindscapes powerful meditation and vibrational healing. You'll get my Train Your Brain Subliminals. All of these things are perfect for this dreamy, psychology-based, spiritually based, Pisces energy. And then you'll also receive my new course, Star Goddess Astrology. I've put a lot into this course, and it's only available through this bonus now. So you can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com to register, to see more about the course, to see more about these amazing promos that you get for free. And if you want to have a personalized report from the outer planet perspective, these big, long, planetary movements that take so long to move through areas of your chart. We don't always talk about these in horoscopes because they're present for so long. Go to AnnieBClarity.com, Annie the letter B, Clarity.com to get your personalized report for the outer planets. I hope you have a wonderful month. I hope that it is as smooth as possible. I hope that I have assisted you with the information I've given here, and you can check out my channel for more resources to help you make the most of the astrological potentials. Bye for now.